Shall let's go for it.
Over January, instead of extending our travels in Bobby, we decided to use the days Dylan was on holiday to get some grunt work done on the bus. A few of the jobs were around getting the kitchen area prepped. We needed to paint a waterproof rubber layer on the ground to protect the ply floor and cavity wax the metal walls before inserting the insulation.
So insulation was quite an issue. When we went around in circles, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, and kind of came back to a conclusion of polyester type insulation. Quite a lot of people that I've seen have used fiberglass wool, and some have just left it like that, and then others have also put like a vapor barrier over it, which both seem like good options. For us, and what we had locally, it seemed like the earth wool or the glass wool option wasn't as good as the polyester version. I mean, there was things like thicknesses, what type of product we could get, installation, moisture control, again, which I think is quite a big one. Having lived in our van for quite some time, moisture definitely is something that you want to pay a lot of attention to and hopefully mitigate as much as possible. In saying that, we're probably not going to do a vapor barrier. Anyhow, I'm probably diving into all those conversations that everyone has their own opinions on, and to be honest with you, any insulation is good. So if you're putting in insulation, good on you. If you're not, well, what are you doing? So that's what we're going with. So that's the green stuff there that we're using. Made in New Zealand. Good stuff. Also guys, good stuff. The good thing with this Vortex green stuff is that it's polyester and not fiberglass, which means it's not going to get into your pores. It's actually safe, or completely safe to use with your hands. There's no harmful chemicals put into it. You can breathe it nicely. It's not going to soak up any moisture. Boom. I mean, it has a whole lot of benefits. It also acts as a bit of a acoustic barrier as well as thermal. A lot of good stuff. So that's made from Vortex here in New Zealand. Green stuff.
What Dylan forgot to mention in his spiel was that the polyester insulation we were using contains up to 85% recycled polyester materials. Green stuff products are manufactured at a zero waste policy and use low energy production, putting them among the most environmentally friendly insulation solutions.
Whew, so there you have it guys, some green stuff going in. Should be good now. Just put a bit of wall lining over it and go from there. Hey guys, so I'm not sure if you already know, but Tegan really wanted a curved wall in the bus. And so we're like, okay, yeah, why not? Let's make it happen. So we managed to get hold of some bendy plywood. And holy shit, it's bendy. It's 4mm thick. It's not very thick. It can basically... Damn, it can bend. So we're also going to use it on the walls as well. How we fix it is another story. Yeah, wish us luck. Wish us luck.
It took a little trial and error before Dylan found his best way to cut the thin ply, but he got there in the end and decided to glue the first few panels on. We had been a bit nervous to draw the ply in place due to the high chance of splitting the wood. While the glue seemed to work okay, it wasn't perfect. It was hard to line the edges up and we felt it wouldn't have been robust enough. So the next panel going in would be screwed. Hey guys, so today is hole in the wall day. Very exciting. We've been waiting for this moment for quite a while, where we are gonna cut a hole into the side of the wall to allow space for our gas bottle compartment and the gas heater under the bed. these two units can go either side, so eventually we'll have to put a hole on each side of the bus. I'm not sure if we're doing both today or just one side, but yeah, we'll have to see. Hopefully it'll go smoothly with no drama, but yeah, exciting day. Let's go check it out. What's up?
Hey.
Want to walk us through?
We're going to cut some holes in the bus. Very, very nervous.
What's the process?
Cut this brace off first.
Fingers crossed.
We're going to cut the brace first and then we'll know.
Yeah, cut the brace first.
So what, roughly?
Yeah.
Just try and cut on the inside of this, you reckon?
Yeah, some there, and it's not double thickness. You're cutting the thinner stuff. And then if you go up with the black line through that other brace.
Through that one as well. Without trying to poke it through.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Shall let's go for it.
Hot on the ends.
Wasn't too bad. Only kind of went sideways there.
With the braces cut away, Dylan now needed to cut a square out, which we would use to measure off so the box would sit right against the groove that ran down the length of the bus.
We just want basically some of this side and some of this side with that. So then
1.5 bits of paper. There's a half. There's a 1, so it's up to about here. Where that blue line is.
straight.
Yeah, or you can cut up from the other one, or you make a little mark. Yeah, something like that.
Oh shit, we've gone and done it now.
Yeah. Alright, put it back. So when you decide where that matches, then you can make a little mark here and a little mark here. And then you can measure up from there and down from there to know where the bottom and top comes.
Perfect. What's in? You're being a drama queen. So we've made the first inset, which means we can line up the groove of the bus with the groove of the box before we commit to putting the box in. We will draw out the box and we'll cut that out. Easy. Otherwise it's a very warm day, so
Easiest way to do this,
yeah.
It's flat. Middle handle? I'd mark that, the back on the...
What, you back it on the back, eh?
Yeah.
That's weird. So, because we wanted to make sure this mirrored up quite well, we've cut out a piece that we can then use the point, which is just the corner of the box that the kind of box that I cut out. We just squared it up so then it's nice and flush with the box, this box. And from that we're able to make a little mark at the bottom of the piece that we cut out. And then we can measure from the piece, from the mark on the box to the top of the box. So then we know from that point, which is the point of the bottom shape that I cut out, would know the height from there to the top of the box, and then we should be able to do it flip the other way, know the height from there to the bottom of the box, and that should give us our height of the box as being the flush side of the highest point of this box. This episode's called Box.
Take a shot every time he says box.
Yeah, take a shot every time I say box. And then we need to work out the width of the box to box out the box.
Now you're just even with us. So now we're just marking out the shape of the box on the wall, just pointing out the 4 corners that we can cut to.
Yeah, that corner.
So it's going to be always in the inside of the corner.
Yeah, so you can draw it
Oh,
sort of just down and like that way on the corner. And you know that's where the corner is and you can measure.
Just shows how off your other cut was.
Oh man. Hey, it's all a learning curve, Tegan. It's all a learning curve.
Might be able to just tilt it out a little bit so you're only in about that far and then you won't be cutting into that other beam at the same time.
Down here.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And there's a hole in our bus.
Holy guacamole!
Oh no, what have we done now?
So we've gone all the way around and made a complete square. And Dylan and Dad have flattened down the last bit, cut out the sides of the bottom and flattened it down with the electrical wires below it so they're all safe. Now they're just going to grind down the bottom of the outside because it's a little bit too tight for the box to fit, so they're going to grind that down, make a bit more room, and then we'll chuck in the box and see if that works. It's like 3 o'clock now, so we're pretty excited to go grab some lunch and maybe a swim.
Another stunner here today, folks, and hopefully we're going to fix this gas box today. That's the plan anyway, and then once that's fixed, look to cut the hole for the water heater. But first, let's look at this gas box. So unfortunately this morning found out used the wrong tape to kind of tape off where I was painting around to protect the edge, and the tape essentially stuck well and truly to the bus. Because of that, it took me an age to get the residue off, essentially. Probably all the best part of this morning. So anyway, long story short, managed to get that off, and now I'm prepping again in order to put the box in. So unfortunately we were aiming to try and get that box there done, but it doesn't look like that's possible anymore. Instead, we've just been able to repaint this edge. Looks a bit messy, but it's all going to be hidden. We've actually just used a cold galv this time. It dries pretty fast and it's quite efficient and effective, so yeah, that's what we use on the edge, right around. That way you kind of know where you've painted and where you haven't painted. And what we're working on now, I'll show you. So that's the box, and this is a little duct tape anchor. Pretty straightforward. Just fold over that point there in order to put a hook through. So we're going to do it on all 4 sides, or both, sorry, 2 sides, 2 each side. And the idea is that we're going to slot the box in, potentially pack the trim of the edge out after we seal around it in order to get a nice, or as nice as possible, flush surface with the bus. And then we're going to put these hooks in, which are going to hook back to the other side, and just provide enough tension until the whole system goes off. And then when it goes off, we'll also be screwing down through the box into some packers, which will just be sitting against the floor, so that those screws probably go straight through the packer into the floor, and that'll be awesome. So that's that. The store will eventually go back on. Unfortunately I had a little mishap with the door. I'll show you. Not the best. Yeah, basically one of the screws got threaded, and when I went to go bend it back, I accidentally popped it out and boom. So I'm going to seal that up as well, which should be fine. Cool, rightio, I'm going to get on to this now.
Day 2 getting the box and the bus. I've just got back from lacrosse training, and it looks like we're all pretty much ready to go for the sealing of the fiberglass box, which is pretty good. Yeah, another steaming day. So it's very hot in here, but hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to wait till Steve gets back. Steve, by the way, is Tegan's dad, who's been helping us out a shitload on this bus. So thanks, Steve. And you know, it's good. He's just got a shitload of knowledge. So we're tapping on that as much as we can. Anyway, him and Dawn, Tegan's mum, should be home soon, and hopefully Steve can help me get this in as nice as possible.
When Dad got back, it was straight into sealing the box on the bus. The process from here on was pretty straightforward. We used plenty of silicone sealant around the edge. We then popped the box into the hole and applied enough pressure for it to sit flush. Last thing we did was wiped away the excess silicone from around the outside and ended up with a pretty tidy finish.